Alrighty, 365 Days of Horsemanship, day 347. It's kind of nice, kind of weird, kind of nostalgic to be doing these videos in the dark again. I was thinking about, I think my memories came up today, and like 1 year ago today I was like day 153, which is not bad actually. Like, you know, I know that I haven't been here every single day, and I think I've learned so much from this project, and yeah, it's really cool to kind of look back and see like where I was a year ago and what I was working on, and yeah, I had a really nice session today. I did my prep session with Mia that I spoke about in the last video regarding mounting and being aware that I was pushing through a lot of stress to get to being able to get on and just crack on and get the job done and like get done what we both wanted to get done, which was the riding. And so I really wanted to invest a session just taking it a little bit slower and giving myself the time and the permission to stop and just work with something for as long as I needed. And I was really pleasantly surprised, or just pleased. I wasn't super surprised, but it was really nice to be able to go through all the saddling and the bridling and everything else. The haltering, bringing up and everything went really nicely. I definitely did take my time, and I definitely have rushed more before with that. So it was nice to just have the time to do that really slowly, but nothing really desperate came up. Like at every stage it was like, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. And then we worked on the mounting, which was really interesting. I basically set myself up to be trying to not push her into fight or flight, so where she feels the need to move her feet, and just finding something that brings the tension up that I can do, some sort of rocking motion that I can do, that just brings that tension up, and just sticking with it until she feels better about it. And when she has that better feeling, which at this stage in the game is often thinking about something else, like ultimately in the end I want her to be able to think about the thing that's happening to her and feel good about it, but in the beginning we just need to feel better. And so feeling better about anything is better than feeling bad. So initially started with the rocking of the saddle, and that was kind of okay. Did a couple of repetitions of that, and when I got this better feeling, we would stop, we would be in flow together, just resting and looking out across the environment. And then when I got a really nice one, I would just go take a walk. The first time I asked her for some sideways over a pole. Second time I asked her for some backup, just when I did something else, just really light, really easy, nothing too strenuous, just until I got a little like a blowout or a you looking at chew, or like some sort of like entertainment about something else, some kind of better feeling about a different activity. And then we'll go back and we'll do the mounting again. Went back and did the mounting again, kind of rinse repeat a few times, basically got to the place where I found kind of the gateway between tolerance and like fight flight, and so that was really useful information. I feel like the biggest thing I took from this session and doing this session was really learning a lot about really exactly which pieces it is that's hard for me, and that's really valuable information that I haven't had previously because I haven't slowed it down enough to be able to see it, but basically discovered that there are a couple things that make it worse. Picking up the reins like absolutely brings the tension up. And so that is okay, fine, that's fine, no problem. So then didn't pick up the reins, just let the reins be there. You know, ordinarily, like classically, you would like pick up the rein, you know, in case your horse like runs off while you're mounting, has always been the way I've kind of understood it. But ultimately, you know, if I would be getting on a horse bareback and bridleless, there's going to be no reins to pick up anyway. So I'm kind of like, okay, that is a non-essential problem to deal with now. We can just avoid that problem for now by not picking up the reins while we mount. That's a thing that we can easily do that's just going to reduce the stress, and we can just break it down. Obviously, in the long term, I want to be able to pick up the reins if I want to and not have her feel stressed about that. But it's not necessary for me to complete the task of mounting. And so I was just like, fine, cool. That's a good thing to know. From now on, every session, you know, for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to pick up the reins while I'm trying to mount. Obviously, if she then moves and I need the reins to move her, then I'll pick them up. But I'm not going to start with any feel on the rein at all. So that was a really good thing to learn in my quest to kind of like find the real, like, how close can I get to the edge of the comfort zone. The next thing I discovered was it's way more stressful for her if my hand is on her wither versus if my hand is on the pommel of the saddle. And I think I had always just been putting my hand reflexively on her wither because her saddle can slip a little bit. She's got quite a flat back. And so in an effort not to have her saddle slip, I would put one hand on the cantle and then the other hand on her wither. So I'm kind of like, part of my weight is just kind of going like on her rather than on the saddle. But I think in hindsight, that's probably less comfortable for her. And yeah, she's also super sensitive. So that was really interesting too. So that's another thing to note to improve for my like mounting, like etiquette, mounting technique. And then once I went to go and get on her, that was really interesting because I found that putting my foot in the stirrup was fine. That didn't bring up the tension. She was aware, but it was really when I started leaning over her. If I put too much weight in the stirrup, that's fight or flight. So then the step below that is like having my foot in the stirrup and like leaning my weight across her. That was like the tension would come up, like the neck would come up. I would feel like she was thinking about leaving, but she didn't need to leave right then. And so basically we just played with me just leaning over and back, leaning over and back, leaning over and back, and just waiting for doing that and waiting for some kind of better feeling, whether that was like a head down or looking at something else. Most of the time it needed to be something distracting in the environment. Well, I think we had 2 or 3 repetitions where we were able to have a focus change. It definitely took a while. And so yeah, most of the time, I think every time actually, it was pretty much every time it was some sort of like look towards some other part of the environment, or like a sound, or like one of the other horses in the herd like neighing or something, and then she'd like turn and look over at that, and then it would be like, cool. Just even that change, like just even her being able to not be fully focused on the concern of what's happening to her or shut down is good. Like, I want her to feel like the answer is to stop being stressed about it. And whatever that means for her, like, that's kind of her choice, like how the pathway that she wants to take. And that's why, like, I'm really happy to take those, like, small changes just in her mindset. Like, just her thinking about something else. Just her being like, oh, what's going on over there? Instead of thinking about, like, oh, my God, Lucy's leaning over my back, is good. You know, when you stop worrying about it, it stops. And also, you know, then it means the last thing that happened when I was doing that is that you were thinking about something else. So yeah, so it was good. It was really interesting. And basically, now that I know that is like the pinpoint area, my plan is for the next few times, I'm going to go back to, I'm not going to do another mounting prep session now for a few sessions. I'm hoping the next couple of days, I do have some stuff to do. I'm doing a CPD course tomorrow. I got to drive to Oxford tomorrow for a CPD course for work. And then on Sunday, I'm visiting my mum. But both days, I'm hoping to be able to be back in the evenings to hopefully ride. And so I'm not planning to do like another mounting session. But what I will do is when I go to mount, just take the time to do 1 repetition of that moment of the leaning over until she feels better. And then once we've done that, we'll take a rest, we'll stop, and then I'm going to get on a mount and crack on. And just, I think by facilitating that opportunity to just like have those experiences of it feeling better in that moment, then what I'm hoping is in a few sessions time, I'll be like, okay, yeah, actually we've done quite a lot now of the riding, like let's go back and just review and see where we're at with the mounting and see if anything has changed, see if it's got better or worse or whatever. And yeah, just kind of go from there. I think it's really important as well to have these sessions where, like, because I finished with her, she had a lovely, like, look towards something else, finished, sat down on the mounting block next to her and just really let her have a long time to just, like, be there, think about things, have a few focus changes. I was really hoping for, like, a big release with a lick and a chew and stuff. There was, like, a bit of a head down. I wish I had taken that moment. I ended up taking the moment afterwards when she looked towards me. But if I'd have stayed long enough, I probably would have had one. But I think sometimes when you wait too long, it becomes detached from what you were doing. Whereas me just, her looking at me and then me just being, yeah, cool, that's it, we're done now. Taking the saddle off and the bridle off and everything. And then while I was doing her plait, she had loads of yawning, loads of releasing and relaxation. And I think it's really important to not always ride every single time I get on and I do all this and I do all that, because it just reduces that expectation of things being really stressful. Like today, you know, we really worked within Mia's boundaries and I didn't push past her, no, oh my God, getting on is really stressful. Because the thing is like, I do push past that every other day, being like, yeah, I know it's really stressful, but it's going to be okay, trust me. And then I get on and it is okay. And we have a nice ride and everything's lovely and we learn lots of stuff. And she always feels good when we get off and she has, you know, those nice yawns and lick and chews and blowouts. And I think we have a good connection and it's a positive session, you know, but I am pushing through and pushing past a boundary to get there. And you can push past boundaries and have things improve as long as what happens afterwards is a good feeling. And I think that is happening with the riding, which is why I'm happy to push through that boundary. But it was really nice today to respect the boundary and to work with what is in the tolerance zone for Mia. And it made me feel really good. I think it made her feel good. I think it's really powerful for our relationship. So I'm really happy with the session, really, really happy. I learned a lot and I am excited to take those lessons on into the next few days. Hopefully I will have time to be here. And yeah, I had a lovely session, just lovely quick little session with Lawrence, just popped up to see him. It was just getting dark and, had a couple of nice moments with, he definitely wanted like some, I don't know, scratches, strokes, something. I just kept it very kind of light, kept moving around, trying to find like the right spot or whatever. And he kind of got like sort of distracted by the grass quite quickly. Had a couple of nice focus changes. Had a lovely focus change touching his shoulder on the yield point, which I was really happy with. And I almost thought, I should leave there. But I thought, nah, I've been here 2 minutes. I just want to stay a little bit longer. I was probably only with him for about 5 or 10 minutes, but yeah, it was just really nice. Just easy flow. I would have liked to have a little bit more time for him, but I shouldn't have any left in the bank. I've been quite tired today. I've obviously just finished a run of shifts. So tomorrow I promised him that I'm going to start with him. So the plan is hopefully get back from Oxford on time, do a little session with Lawrence and then do a quick ride with Mia. And hopefully that plan will work out successfully, fingers crossed. But yeah, it was a really interesting session. Really, really interesting. I definitely think I would benefit from building in those sort of like prep sessions into our work together.